Hello, I'm Angela Couch with Parkside Realty Group.
And Kristen Stewart, and we're your dynamic duo, and we're bringing a resource of information. This week's topic is homeowners insurance.
Yes.
Some tips and tricks to consider and things to think about. It has become more difficult to get insurance, and the prices obviously have gone up, and it's a statewide thing. It's not localized to any specific community.
For the state of Florida.
Right. And we want to give you some tips and tricks and things to consider when you're picking your houses that might help you be prepared for some of the things that come up with regards to picking and buying a home and adding the homeowner's insurance to close.
Also, cost-effective approaches to make sure that you're handling things efficiently, especially in your purchase, which would be your 4-point and your WinMid and your in your inspection, which is going to help you a lot in homeowners insurance. So in the jump of going in and applying for the home and getting all that stuff, if you schedule those things in, it's going to benefit you in trying to find homeowners insurance to cover.
Right. So when you schedule your inspection, add those, because without adding those, a lot of your insurances won't even give you a quote, a finalized quote, or bind the insurance without them. So make sure you're making those additions to your homeowner's inspection, or making sure your inspector already includes them, because you will be required to get them. The other thing is when you pick your home, there are certain things that you can do when you're looking to make sure that you're prepared for things that might come up, or you're already got it checked off your list. Certain things that are important to insurance companies right now.
Roof age.
Is your roof age.
Water heater age.
And your water heater age. Make sure those things are, your water heater age is usually about 12 before they start huffing about it. And your roof age is usually, I think, 15, unless you can get letters and things.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're prepared for it. It could be something that comes up as a problem. It doesn't mean that you and the seller can't address it together with your agents and help to make sure that it's not going to be a holding point. But when you're looking, it's easier to know.
And also you might want to question whatever insurance companies you're selecting too, because a lot of, I don't know that there's any that cover screen enclosures. There may be, but it's majority, they won't cover the screen enclosure over a pool or over a patio.
Right. And there's certain things that go into whether or not your homeowner's insurance might be more expensive. A pool is one of them, or being abutted to water. While we are Florida, there are flood zones. And if you're not in a flood zone, you're not required to have flood insurance. But should a hurricane come through and cause flood damage, you will not be covered on your hurricane policy for that. You must also have a flood policy, which is infinitely cheaper if you're not required to have it. But again, things to consider on what's important to you and what you want to protect.
Also trying to choose a homeowner's insurance company. Some bigger insurance companies have quota gaps. In other words, they only have so many per year, and then as some revolve out, they open back up and allow so many more in. So
so like your State Farms or Geico's may not bundle with your current car insurance policy to bind an insurance in the state of Florida. You might have to talk to whoever you're using, your agents, to find an insurance broker to help you source a more local insurance company to bind for the house.
Yeah, which would be like an auto insurance quote. A lot of them will check in several companies and try and get with you on quotes on that. And if you get a good representative, they'll help you very much in all those aspects of who's available and how much they can cover for you.
Right. And another thing that I think we should end with is a lot of people have made claims on their insurance companies for roofs and things like that, which has led to the situation where insurance has become a little more difficult. But it does work like car insurance. Once you make a claim, you then have a claim against you, and it holds against you for so many years, and the insurance companies will look at you as more risk, just the same as a car insurance. So make sure when you're making claims on your insurances and things like that, you weigh those outcomes in your decisions.
Yeah, and like we had a recent situation where some roof damage happened from a storm. But in viewing the damage itself, it looked like the repair was going to be a lot less than the deductible. So in that, had they called the insurance company first, it would have flagged it but it still wouldn't have qualified because it would have been
More than
under the deductible.
Under the
So
deductible.
sometimes it's better to make sure that you know what your deductible is before you make that claim, because it
Right.
is going to be on your record.
Right. And playing with those deductible amounts, again, like car insurance, works towards making the insurance more affordable, not affordable, those sorts of things. But we hope this topic helped clarify a little bit around the topic. I know that it's still an unknown, but knowing some of the factors that come into play might help when you're making your decisions and choosing your resources.
Yeah, and your real estate agent should be able to help you in a lot of aspects. So hopefully you've got a really good representative that can help you. And if not, we're available anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.